Yo, going live right now. Going live. Lockdown. After Christmas 2025. Anyone out there? Yo, what's up? You guys hear me? Yo, anyone out there? Anyone out there in TV land tonight? It's not too busy on a Friday night. Talk about freedom, God, after Christmas. What you guys got going on after Christmas? Got like salt or something. There we go. Yo, yo, yo. Anyone got anything going on after Christmas? Welcome to live chat with Revradchad in the mountains, desert mountains of Arizona. Anyone out there? Yo. That was the official background music of the show. The official background music that I'm just saying with Revradchad. Shout out. Try to stop it before the audio comes on so the YouTube just stops flagging my music I have permission to use. Nobody out there on a Friday night? Anyone hear me? Am I even live? Am I live? Am I out there? Is anyone out there? Can anyone see me? Like a little tiny box like this big, and I'm in that box. Can you see me? Am I live? Can you hear me tonight? It's Friday night with the Reverend. Just popping out here to see who's out, who's hanging out. Let's talk about freedom. Now that Christmas is over, everybody should be free of obligations, of family problems, and should be free to explore the new year. Anyone? Can anyone hear me? You guys hear me? You with me? And the freedom after Christmas, man. Seems like there's so many obligations leading up to Christmas with family and jobs and the whole world being all stressed out. But it's over. So it's peace, New Year's. Everybody likes to say they're going to make resolutions. They're going to do new things. They're going to flip it all over. Are you going to do that? Hello? Are you flipping it over? Is everybody flipping it over? Hello? That's what I want to know. How many people actually are going to be flipping it over and trying something new this year? Everybody says that every year. Hello? And I always wonder, like, does anybody actually ever try it? Because usually they say that most resolutions last about like 3 days. So I'd be curious to see. I started a new mission like 4 weeks ago, and I think everybody should find their own little missions, things that take care of themselves. Whether it's working out or eating a certain way or cutting something out of your diet or adding something into your diet, just something. Thank you for subscribing, or just doing something good, and what'll really make you feel the best is to find something good once a week to do for other people, whether it's, just be really polite to somebody at the store, hold the door for an old lady. Man, the more you do stuff like that, the more you'll actually feel good about yourself. The more you feel good about yourself, the more you want to do more stuff like that for people. Thank you. So, what do you think? The freedom after the holidays? You got, you're done with the shopping. You're done with the running around. You're done with trying to beat the stores before they close. Now all I got to do is kick back and wait for the year to flip over. I hear a lot of people really upset about trusting each other and who they've trusted, and a lot of social media people mad at each other, and a lot of people are mad at the people from both sides, and you can't put your trust in man. You can't put your trust in man. I've got a couple things written down because I always got some stuff on the side here written down that I'll get to, but like there's a Psalms verb that I read from 146:3, where it basically says, you don't put your trust in man, because you don't put your trust you don't put your trust in someone that can't do anything. Man can't do anything for you. Your faith doesn't come from mankind, and you can't have faith in a man, because a man, and that's where people get confused. They say, oh, you have faith in this Jesus. No. Jesus led us to the faith. You don't have faith in the physical man. You have faith in the man, everything that the man stood for, everything that the character is. He's the son of the God. So I think a lot of people get that confused. And that's why Christmas is so convoluted. It's because so many people are celebrating Christmas that they don't even believe in Jesus Christ, but they celebrate Christmas. They have Christmas trees in their house, but they don't believe that Jesus lived or died. That's insanity. That's absolute insanity. That's like that's believing in anything just to say you believe in it, to be part of it so you can have the good. Oh well, if we buy a Christmas tree, we can get presents, and then we'll do that once a year. So I think it's crazy to see that every year. I think every year when I see people that have all year long got nothing to say, there's no God, they got no belief in God, but then all of a sudden it's Christmas time and they want gifts or they want bonuses. All right, here's what I was going to read. 146:3. Sorry, I was having a hard time reading it. There's a weird glare on the pages. So 143:6. It says, Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. Okay? For his breath goeth forth, he returneth to the earth, in that very day his thoughts perish. So mankind, you don't put your faith in mankind, you put your faith in God. So all this crying and confusion that people have all over the world about which famous celebrity betrayed them or didn't betray them, drop this, or whatever, like that's crap. Or this friend is not strong enough or doesn't back you enough. You don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. And so I'm hoping that looking into the new year, people can find, new strength. I got a whole bunch of other shit like highlighted out, but we can find some new strength. So let's see who anybody got any comments? Anybody gonna make any changes this year coming up? Anybody gonna do anything positive? Anybody gonna help anybody? Start anything new? Hey Juan, is that Juan from like last week? Did you take that test, man? Did you get a good grade? Is that you, dude? That's not the same Juan? Or no, you didn't get a good grade? All right. We just had a Juan in here last week on the live show, and we prayed for him to get a good grade on some test he was nervous about, and I was hoping he got a good grade because we hadn't heard from him yet. So, welcome in. We're just talking about the freedom after Christmas, getting all the obligations out of the way. Exactly what I'm talking about. Great job, young lady. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just, it doesn't have to be big, because those people that need that help, they don't need big help. They need little help. And that little help goes a long way. They could sit there all day in that chair reaching and no one would help them. And you grab that real quick and help them, man, forget about it. I like this when I see the old people, like they're going to walk their cart back. I like to grab their cart and walk it back for them. It's like, I got that. You already put in your time. You've already shopped at the grocery store for 50 years. Let me get that cart for you. Life's too short, man. And we're all going to be judged by God, and you're going to be standing there at the gates thinking you did all these wonderful things. And you're going to be explaining to God all the wonderful stuff you did. But I went to church, and I'm such a good person. And he'll go, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? What about all the things you never took atonement for? So if you try every day to be good and honest in the way you live, it really makes it easy for you not to have to go back and try to figure out your atonement throughout the day. If you wake up in the morning with God in your heart and you don't have malice and you don't have anger, and you start your day that way, you can generally live that path. Oh, that's cool. I was just reading the comments. So yeah, that's cool. I appreciate that. And I'm sure the people they help with that will appreciate that too. So what's up with the new year? Yo, it's good to play some. What's up with the new year? And Deadbolt is our official background music. Friends with this band, so I have official permission to use the Deadbolt as background music all I want throughout my shows. I try to cut off most of the singing, because then that way YouTube doesn't put stupid copyright tags on my videos, because then people are afraid to watch them for some reason. I have to get on there and put messages being like, I have permission to use this band. It's like one of my favorite bands, and I've been friends with this dude a really long time. Yo. So late night with Revradchad, just trying to talk to people about real stuff, about freedom, about happiness, about moving into the new year, what you're going to do, what your path is. Are you going to be good? Are you going to be helpful? Did you learn anything in 2025? I lost one of my absolute favorite people in 2025. So, biggest eye-opening lesson I've had to deal with in the last 15 years. Since I lost the last favorite person. So, in retrospect, I found a great deal of learning in 2025, but I felt it was a rather slow year. It was very sluggish. I didn't seem to progress much myself personally. So I look forward to 26 to push more of a progress in my personal life. Thank you. I like that. It's like one of my favorite bands. Deadbolt. This is off of the album.
You killed him.
I should have killed you.
And we don't care why. The only problem was he was a strange guy. He was a strange.
I better stop that before I get a fucking copyright tag on my shit. And then I gotta call my homie and be like, yo, dude, I got a copyright tag on another YouTube video. Nobody canceled 2026. Only retards think that way. The future is always better than the past, because every new year you get a chance to start over. You get a chance to do anew. You got a whole nother calendar year to work with. Anything you didn't do or couldn't accomplish, you could reattack it and try again. If you live in doom, you'll always be in doom. If you think negatively, negative stuff will always land on you. If you have a bad attitude towards the world will always have a bad attitude towards you. It's just the way it works. And it doesn't mean that just having a positive attitude will automatically get you anything, but it's definitely a better direction than to know you're automatically going to get the negative of everything. The opportunity in the future is always possibly better. The opportunity. You never know what the next opportunity is. Tomorrow, something super amazing could happen to you. We could all pray for you through the show that something happens to Zombie Sequel Love, and an amazing thing happens. You come into a windfall tomorrow, you never know. Not really sure why you're gonna start out doing that shit, but we can just do this. All right, we just put you in timeout. We're not gonna do like smart ass comments, trying to be polite with people and have a good show. I don't really play with the smart ass comments. I generally would just time you out. So anyway, anyone else in there? Anybody else come in? Always lose people and get sidetracked. Looking to talk about the freedom, looking to talk about happiness, looking to talk about all the things in the new year that we can do to make our lives better, starting with positive attitudes. Treat people positive, more positive stuff will happen. It's that simple. The negative attitude, the negative outreach from so many of these people on the internet, it's really sad and pathetic. I feel sorry for people that their only outlet is to get on here and rage or flip out or attack other people. I especially feel sorry for the people that get in their cars and have like complete and total meltdowns. Usually at groups that the meltdown won't help them. So 2026 is going to be good. I'm starting a job that I think I'll be much happier than the previous job that I had. I think you got to make changes. I'm one of those people. It's like if you don't like something, the only person that could change it is you. You can't sit around and complain about the things that that you don't do anything about. If you don't put any effort into changing the things you want changed, you can't expect anything to come about from it. So I don't know where all the people went. I don't know what happened on Friday night. It's a lot of action going on probably Friday night. But I thank you guys for coming in. Got to put that zombie dude in timeout because he's just one of those guys who's just going to start texting weird comments that don't really have any. They're not actual real questions and they're not actual subject we're talking about. I don't mind answering questions and talking about different subjects, but just to be negative or just to try to create upset, I don't fall for that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I just switched. I just quit my job in December, early December, and was hopeful that I would get a new job. And I had talked to a guy a few months in the past about a job. And fortunately for me, I left a good enough impression. That guy called me and asked me to take the job. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I had pretty much a dead end job, really low pay. The boss I worked for was very low energy. So I need to be for the job I do. I need to be in a little bit more energy, and I need to be with people that are connected in the history of the job makes me feel more at home. I've been a tattoo artist for like 30 years. And so, yeah, I like to be around artists and real tattooers that know real tattoo history and know real techniques and shit. So that's yeah. So that'll be cool. And I'm in the shop. I'm in the new shop with a guy I really respect. So that's always cool too, because if you work for someone that's as good or better than you, then you can learn shit. Where I wasn't really getting to learn anything. I wasn't really doing much of anything that was making me happy, that's for sure. And like I said, when you want to change, you have to make the change. I want 2026 to be better than 25. And it's easy to stay in what we're doing because we're already doing it and it's kind of safe. But yeah, safe doesn't make you happy. Sometimes you just have to, you know, I've said this a bunch of times. You got to break eggs to make omelets, you know. Got to step out of your comfort zone. Here's even a better way to say it. You've got to be willing to give up the old you to get the new you that you want. And I think that's what most people are afraid of. Like, you know, the fat lazy guy doesn't want to give up the fat lazy guy for that handsome muscle dude because he has to give up one to get the other. You don't get to have both. Welcome, North Korea. So, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, it's like I said, everything is part of where you're going in your journey. What do you want to become? How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be remembered by your friends? Do you want to remember just being a fat, lazy blob sitting around doing nothing? You know, an unhelpful friend? Do you want to be a good friend? Do you want to be remembered as a positive person, a negative person? You know, these are all things you're in control of. And it seems like these younger generations are confused by that. Like somebody else is in control of how they behave and how they think. It's like, no, you're in control of those things. And you're unhappy and you're negative and miserable because you think someone else is in control of your ideals because you're just listening to their ideas. So, got to get stronger in your mind and in your heart. But in my opinion, it all comes from a strong faith in Jesus. If you don't have a really strong faith in God, it's really hard to have a foundation because the world has so much wishy-washy nonsense that you can't really believe in anything. You can't believe in your government. You can't believe in people. You can't believe in groups. You can't believe in joining any kind of omnipotent group. So the only thing you can rely on is your faith. And if you have that in the center core of everything you do, no matter what you believe in or what you work towards, then you'll get stronger because the faith that you carry will back you in the fight against everything. If you don't have that, you face it all by yourself. It's like if you believe in nothing, you face everything alone. But if you believe in God, you face everything with you and God. So there's two of you right off the bat. You know, it's that simple. You know, Jesus came on earth. He did nothing but be benevolent to people. He did nothing but heal, help, and speak the true word. Harmed nobody, hurt nobody, fouled nobody, wronged nobody, sinned not at all, and was murdered because we couldn't accept that. He was telling the truth. And thousands of years later, we watched Islam invade the world and threaten to kill the entire world and wipe Christianity off the face of the planet. And it makes every word that the Bible speaks louder and truer than it's ever been. Evil is at every corner. The blasphemers will come from all directions. You cannot trust mankind. You have to trust God. I mean, all these things are so powerful and so strong that without them, there's no truth. It's like my description says, real talk. Real talk, truth, faith, God, real talk. We're not going to talk about people, other people, human beings, such and such's name, who spoke such and such about so and so. Nope. We're not going to put the videos in the corner and play like that shit's important. Oh, so and so said such and such. Now let's react to it. No. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about real shit, real people. If you got something real to say, you can put it down there. I'll read it. If it's real, we'll talk about it. You know? But what we won't do is we won't speculate about what other people are thinking because someone else said, because on that show they said this and that. Because that's not real life. That's why people's brains are rotten. They're not using. When I come on here, I want to say things that make you think with your own brain. Hello. Thanks for coming in. I want people to think with their own brain. I want them to hear what I'm saying and think, do they like that or do they not like that? I don't want them to just listen to me and go, yeah, whatever he said's cool. Because what if I said something fucking stupid? You need to discern that. Because we're all human. We could all say something stupid. We could all say something positive. So use that, use your brain. Listen to this stuff around you. Listen to the world. Listen to the but don't just eat it. It's not a sandwich. All the crappy news in the world is made to sell you on purpose. All the internet, all these people, all these characters, they're paid characters, man. The people that got the split screen, and then this guy over here, because what he did is such and such about so and so, they're paid characters. They're paid to hate the other guy. They're paid to fight the other guy. There's only one guy that doesn't like my God, and that's the devil, and everybody that's with the devil. So it's not like this character said this about me, because it's not about me. It's about God. And if you don't like what I have to say, it's not about me. I'm not saying anything about me. All I'm saying is the stuff that I read from this book to you and relating it to whatever we're actually talking about, which is normally just faith, God, proper treatment of each other, being kind, being polite, being helpful, and understanding what faith really is. Too many people think they know what faith is and they have no idea how it really works. You don't just get to say, "Oh, I believe in God," and like you're all's forgiven and you're protected by God. It doesn't work that way. You have to actually believe. You actually have faith. And it behooves you to read the Bible on a regular basis to really understand what it is you think you believe or know you believe, what the stories actually say, who was telling the stories, why they were telling the stories. Because without all that, all you have is a word coming out of your mouth that relates to something that may not give you any solace. Well, ugly breeds ugly. Negative breeds negative. If you share darkness with the world, then the only thing the world will get from you is darkness. I'm not one of those people. I think that we could help each other. We can uplift each other. We could bring, we can bring power to each other. Everybody has hard days. And if you could help that person up on their hard day, they could help another person up on their hard day. But so many people are so selfish. They walk around the world so blind on their own that they wouldn't help somebody if they could. And that's foul. As a society, we need to help each other when we can, and we can all the time. I see it every single day. We all see it every single day. There's at least 1 to 5 instances in every single person's life that lives in a major city every single day where they could help somebody, where they could be positive, where a friend calls them and they didn't want to take the phone call, or somebody needs their help and they'd rather, play a video game, go online, do some brain rot. So we're going to play a little more Dabo here. It's always in and out, in and out, in and out. Nobody wants to hang out. Nobody wants to ask questions. They just want to peek in, see what you're talking about, and then disappear real quick. You know. What are you guys gonna do for the new year? Who's gonna make major changes? Anybody making major changes? Major changes. I went from drinking like a 12-pack of beer every day for like the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years to like drinking 0 beers a day for like the last month. So that's what I was changing before I moved into the new year. Figured I'd go into the new year saving myself a little bit of money every week. You know? Spend less money on beer and more money on bills. You know? All right, well, been on here a long time, and it looks like there's no more activity, so we're going to play some Deadbolt on our way out, and we thank everybody that showed up. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Freezy, and these other people, Juan and Hudson, and all right. Well, thank all you guys for coming in. It was wonderful to have you. I just pop in live. I'm gonna start doing more late night than early night. I used to do like 7 o'clock Mondays, 7:30. I'll probably still do that show sometimes too, but trying to add in some other shows because people DM me and say, "Hey, you're not on when I'm up." So just seeing what's up. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. We'll go out to Deadbolt. Official background music of I'm Just Saying. Thank you. God loves you. Peace in your heart. And, catch up with you. Check me out. Follow me. And then when I come on live, I'm coming on live.
We know you
have a great night. Thanks for coming, people.
And we don't care why.
Love you all. Catch you next time.
The only problem was,
all right,
he was a straight guy. He was into some voodoo shit, and tonight